Hi everyone, today we're going to be making this fun baby blanket, and it whips up in just one afternoon. If you've crocheted a few items before, you'll see how easy this is to make. I made this in this multicolored yarn. You can do it in a solid color. You could put a border, a contrasting border with a solid color, but it's very, very soft, this particular yarn, this baby blanket yarn, Bernat baby blanket. And this is a 40-inch square. The directions call for 36-inch square, so you can make it smaller or as big as you want. So let's get started, and happy crocheting. Yarn is Bernat Blanket Brights, and this is bulky, and it's considered a 6 weight. So if you don't have the Bernat blanket, you can find another brand similar with this weight, and it is 100% polyester. I am using a size N or 9mm crochet hook. And with this tutorial, I won't be changing colors since this is multicolored. Okay, so there's a couple of things I did want to point out. This is the printed pattern and that I printed. There should be a link at below this video. And right in here, this particular pattern was using 100 grams of yarn. The ball of yarn that I show you is 300 grams. So if you're making this all in one color, you just need 3 balls. If you do want to make it in the 3 different colors, which I think that is just as cute as can be, if you want to do the 3 different colors, you still just need 1 ball of each color. Also, you'll notice that this calls for a size 10mm or an N. I happen to have a crochet hook that says N 9mm. Some confusion there. I did search it online, and it looks like the LMNO letters on the crochet hook, some of them vary, but you would need to use a 9mm or the actual 10mm. Don't go by the letter. So that's the first time I've actually run into that. If anybody knows why that is, please feel free to comment in the comment section. And I just wanted to let you know those couple of things, and happy crocheting. Thank you. Project started. We're going to go ahead and do our slip knot. And I'm just going to wrap it around 2 fingers. Come around the back. Put my crochet hook in, grab that back piece, come around, and just let go. All right, now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to make a circle by going into that first chain. Put the hook through, grab the yarn, come back through, and then go through the yarn on the hook. All right, so now you've got your circle made. So here is my tail. Some people like to work the tail in as you're crocheting, but in this instance, I'm just going to move it to the back, and I will weave it in at the end of the project. I just want to get it out of the way. So there's my circle. So now what we're going to do is chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet into the circle. So we put our hook into the center of the circle, grab the yarn, pull it through, grab the yarn, and go through 2. Now, This particular single crochet I'm going to mark. You can use a paper clip or a stitch marker, because this is where we're going to connect. And if you're new at this, a lot of times it's better to go ahead and just mark it. So these come in different sizes. I'm going to use the blue one because it's bigger. You can also use a paper clip, bobby pin, or even another piece of yarn. So there's my single crochet that I just did. And I'm just going to put my stitch marker right there. Okay, so now we have our stitch marker. Now we're going to chain 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do another single crochet into the center. And we're going to chain 3 again. And we're making corners here. Okay, we're going to single crochet again and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. So we've got 1, 2, and this is our third corner. Let's single crochet again. And chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now this is where we're going to connect with our first single crochet. And we're just going to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to go right underneath that single crochet, which I'm picking up both pieces of yarn, grab my yarn, pull it through, and then pull through the yarn on the hook. So now we've connected it, and these are the 4 corners. This is the beginning of the project. And I'm going to take my stitch marker out now. Now we're going to start round 2. There's my tail. And we're going to start on this first corner. We have 4 corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slip stitch by going into the center of the corner, pulling up the yarn, bringing it back through, and then pulling it through the yarn on the hook. So now we've slip stitched. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, and 2, and 3. This chain 3 is going to act as a double crochet. Now we're going to double crochet 2 times, pull up the yarn, go into that corner, grab the yarn, bring it back through. You have 3 pieces of yarn on the hook, pull up yarn, go through 2, pull up the yarn, go through 2. Let's do that again. Pull up the yarn, go into that corner, pull up the yarn, back through, pull the yarn and go through 2, and pull up the yarn and go through 2. So now you have, I'm going to push this over a little bit. There we go. So you have your chain 3 and 2 double crochets. So that now you have a grouping of 3. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now in that same corner, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So here, this is the first one. And it's kind of hard to hold the yarn when it's a small piece, but as it gets bigger, it'll be easier for you to crochet. That's my second one. And here is the third one. Okay, so we've just created a corner in our second round. So just to go back, we did a chain 3, 2 double crochet, a chain 3, and 3 double crochet. So there's our first corner on our second round. Now we're going to go into the next corner of our first round. We are going to do 3 double crochet, a chain 3, and 3 double crochet, all in the center of that corner. So here is our first double crochet. Here's our second double crochet. and our third double crochet, and now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Move these over just a tad, just push them over a little bit. Do 3 more double crochet in that same corner. Here's the first one. And the second one. And the third one. Okay, so get this one and this one. So you see this is starting to form a pattern here. Okay, now we are ready to go into this next corner. Right here, do 3 more double crochet. It's the second one. And the third one. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Push that over just a little bit. There we go. 3 more double crochet. See, my yarn seems to be twisting. That's why I loosen it up and grab it again. 2 more double crochet right here. All right, so now we're just about done with our third corner. And we've got 1 more corner to do. So we're going to go right into it and do our 3 double crochet. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Push it over a little bit. Do 3 more double crochet. Okay, right after this double crochet, I do a chain stitch, and you're not supposed to do that, so just ignore it. One more. Okay, now we're going to connect, but see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 corners in our second round. At this point, we're going to go ahead and connect to our chain 3. We're going to go to the top of the chain, 1, 2, 3, that third one, and that's where we're just going to do a slip stitch to connect this together. So I'm going through, I have 1 piece of yarn of that chain stitch, and it's actually 2 pieces of yarn on the top. There you go. And grab the yarn and pull it through, and pull it through the yarn on the hook. So now you've connected that together. Now if you're going to change colors at this point, you can just pull up this yarn and pull it through and cut the yarn, leave yourself a tail. Now if you're changing colors, you're going to start by connecting your new color into this corner. But since I'm just using 1 color, I'm going to slip stitch my way over to the corner. So I'm going to just go into the top of this double crochet, pull my yarn through and pull it through. I'm going to do that with the next one. And if you want, you can just go under 1 piece of yarn and connect it. Sometimes it's sturdier if you don't do that. So that's why I like to grab 2, because it might loosen that up. So I'm going to go in here and pull it together. I think I'm making this harder than it really is. Okay, so now right here into the corner, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay, and so now that we're in our corner, we can start our next round. Okay, so we're going to start our next round, and it's going to be different than the previous round. And if you're changing color, you should also be at this point where you've connected your new color. Now the first thing that we are going to do is chain 1. Now we are going to do a single crochet, a chain 3, and a single crochet in this corner. Okay, so now I'm going to do, whoop, there goes the kitty. Single crochet. I think she wants attention. Okay, and now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and another single crochet. All right, so this is our corner in our round 3, and we're going to be doing that in all of the corners. It's going to be a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. You're not going to start out with the chain 1 in each corner. We just had to do it with that one. So to get to this next corner, we have to stitch into this space here between the groupings of the double crochet. So to do that, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to go into that space, and we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, and now we're going to do a chain 3 again. Get some more yarn out here. Chain 3. And now we're into the next corner, and this is where we do our single crochet and a chain 3 and a single crochet. Okay. So we slip stitched across into this corner, and we did that chain 1. Then we did our pattern, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3 across, did a single crochet between the two groups, chain 3 across, start our next corner with a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. Okay, and that's what it's going to do all the way around. So we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3. Do a single crochet between the groupings. Here's our single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet, chain 3 for a corner, and a single crochet. And once you get the hang of your pattern, you'll just breeze through this. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and do our single crochet in the center of the groupings, chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3. This is our last corner, single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, single crochet, and we just finished that corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Go into the grouping, do a single crochet and chain 3. We're back to our first corner of that round, and we're just going to connect it at the top of the single crochet. So I'm going to go right in here. That's not my chain 1, it's the top of my single crochet. Grab my yarn, pull it through, and pull it through again. So now we finished round 3. All right, so now that we finished that round, we're getting ready to do round 4. And you see we have these gaps here from round 3. So first thing we have to do, now that we finished slip stitching into our single crochet, we're going to slip stitch into the corner. Okay, so now we're going to do our pattern, and this is going to be like the pattern 2 rows ago, round 2. So now we're going to chain 3, which is going to act like a double crochet. Do 2 double crochets. Okay, now we got a little gap there, so I just like to push those double crochets over a little bit. Just push them over. There we go. So you have your grouping. And now we're going to do a corner, so we have to do a chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets in that same corner that we're working in. So here's 1, 2, and 3. So you see this is the pattern that we did before. Okay, there's our corner. So now that we have gaps, we have our sides. We're going to go right into this gap, and we're going to do 3 double crochet. This is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. And since this is a side piece, that's all we do right there. There's our corner. This is a side piece. We have another side piece before we get to the next corner. So we're going to do 3 double crochet again. And this is 1. And this is 2. And this is 3. Now we're going to jump right into our corner, and we're going to do 3 double crochet. It's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to do our chain 3 for the corner. 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to do, push this over a little bit. There we go. 3 more double crochet, and we'll have this corner done. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there you have it. All right, so we're going to continue this around, and I'll meet you back down at this end. So just continue on doing 3 double crochet in this gap, 3 double crochet in that gap, and then your corner, 3 double crochet, chain 3, and 3 double crochet. And you'll notice we're not doing any chain ones in between like you might do in a granny square. So continue on, I'll meet you at the end. So I finished coming around, and I'm at my last gap where I did 3 double crochets, and here's my corner, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 to connect it. And just do a slip stitch. Well, doesn't want to come through. There we go. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch across to get to this next corner to do our next round. So here I am again. I'm just going to slip stitch my way across. Until I get to the corner, and then just go into the corner and slip stitch. And now we're going to do just what we did on the previous row, which was row 3. So we have to start out by chaining 1, and you don't do this in every corner, just when you're starting the round. And now we're going to do our single crochet. And a chain 3. And a single crochet. Okay, so now we've got our corner. And now we're going to go right over into the space between the grouping of the 3 double crochets. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our chain 3 first. 1, 2, and 3. And then go in here and do our single crochet. And do our chain 3 again. Do our single crochet, chain 3 again, and our single crochet. We're going to get back to chain 3 again, our corner, and we do our single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and our single crochet. And then just continue this around, and then the next round that you do is going to be the one with the 3 double crochets, and you just keep doing that until you finish. I used 3 balls of yarn to complete this project. You can make it bigger if you'd like, if you want to get another ball of yarn, if you don't like the size. And once we get to, I think the size that I get is 36 inches by 36 inches, and then I'll show you how to do the border once we finish. Okay, carry on. Okay, I'm to my last round, and your last round will have to be with the 3 double crochets. And my finished product should end up being 40 inches by 40 inches rather than what the pattern calls for, 36 by 36, because I just wanted to make it a little bit bigger this time, and I do have some extra yarn. So I have finished this round. I have slip stitched. I came to here, slip stitched across. Now this is going to be our border. So you slip stitch into the corner and do a chain, 1 chain, and one more chain. And now we're going to do single crochet twice into this corner. This is 1 and 2. Now we're going to continue doing single crochets all the way around, and it might look nice, just to mention, if you wanted to do a solid color for a border. And by doing that, you would just finish off right here with your yarn at this point, and then you would start your new color into the center of the corner if you wanted to do a different color. Just wanted to mention that. And so now we're going to continue to single crochet. So we just go into this next spot, and if you look at the top, you see 2 pieces of yarn, 2 pieces, 2 pieces. So I'm going under those 2 pieces, and which gives me a bottom, a piece underneath in between. So here's a single crochet, and I'm going to do this all the way across and all the way around the blanket. And when you get to this gap coming up here, just continue to go under those 2 pieces of yarn. Don't go into the gap to do your single crochet. You can if you want, but I don't think it would look as nice. It won't have that good finished look. But you certainly can do that if you want to. Maybe it'll have a look that you would like. So we're going to go all the way around. Just continue that and doing single crochets. And I will meet you at the end. And when you get to the corner, make sure that you do 3 single crochets in the corner for each corner. And then when we get back around, we'll finish it off. Okay, I have finished doing my single crochets all around for my border, and I'm going to finish off by slip stitching into the first single crochet where I started, and just pull it through to make your slip stitch. And then I'm going to do 1 little chain stitch at the end, and then I'm going to cut this end here. I had to grab my scissors that were not handy, and I'm going to cut it about right here, long enough to weave in, maybe a little bit too long, but I always do that. So then you just pull it through. And now we're going to weave in the ends, and I will show you how to weave in the ends. I'm going just to do 1 just to show you how it's done. 1 or 2 maybe. And then our project will be finished. I also found this little container of blunt needles, which is great for crocheting and weaving in ends. We've got different size eyes. So I have that, and I have this larger plastic wide eye needle, which this is not really sharp, but it does come to a point, but it's not really sharp. But this is great for the bigger pieces of yarn, such as this, to weave in the end. So I'm going to put that through. Perfect. Went through perfect the first time. Now, this particular blanket is looking the same on both sides, but I am choosing the side where all my ends are at from where I started. As you can see, all the little straggler ends that we're going to be weaving in. So all you do is just go through, just take your needle and just go through a few strands of yarn, pull it all the way through. There's a nice little cat here, get rid of that. It's a good thing this is for myself. And I'm just going to come back up through this way. And I'm going to skip right over here and just go down through here. And my needle came out. And I'm just going to put that in, put this back in the needle, and just do one more little catch here, just to make sure it's secure. So I'm just going to go back through here and go back in the opposite direction, which gives it a more secure feeling there. So now that I cut it, so when I go to wash it, I won't have to worry about any stragglers coming out. And that's all you do. And so that's what we're going to do with all these others. There's no particular spot. You just weave it through and it just blends in. And so here we have the finished blanket, and it is 40-inch square. And it's just so happened that I found that little puppy dog at the store that had the same colors in it. And I hope you liked this video, and if you're not a subscriber already, please subscribe and like, and happy crocheting. I think Mittens decided that this blanket is for her. I don't know if she's too crazy about the puppy dog. That's what I thought.